Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining to this session. Okay, as you remember in the last class that we discussed, I just explained to you how to import the data to Power BI. Today, I'm going to review that, and also we are going to have one of the diagrams as a column chart, okay? And we are going to just review the detail of this chart, okay? All the things that we have for this particular chart. And this is all for today, okay? Maybe it's a bit looks complicated, but don't worry. Later you will have the recorded version for your own purpose. You can review and see what exactly we discussed, okay? One of the good method of reviewing this class is you just need to play the video again, stop, do, play, stop, and do again and again. Okay? Don't forget the Power BI is a software that you need to hands on. You need to practice. You need to touch the keyboard and do all these things. Okay? As long as you just read and you just watch the video, unfortunately, nothing good will happen. And when you want to do it by your own, you will see that there is so many things it's not there. That's why you need to work with it practically. Please spend some time, maybe every day if you don't have time, at least few times a week, and do some practices and try just only to uh, be ready for the next session each time. Also, another thing is please check your mic that during the session will be mute because there are some mics right now they are active. Okay, please let me mute all. Okay, I did it easily. And yeah, that's all for now. And let's see what we have today. Okay, as you can see, this is my screen. This is the Power BI. I'm going to open some blank reports because I want to open and start my work. Okay, you can see the screen in this blank report page. We don't have any data yet. That's, as you can see here, this column is empty, means that we don't have any data. That's why we need to go and import some data to this column. So to import the data, we are going to select the get data from here more. Okay, here you can select the Excel workbook or any other. Then depends to the database that you have. Okay, one question is coming up here is how many type of database can be covered by Power BI? Do you know the answer? If you know the answer, please write the answer. Please write the answer in
182.
yes. Yeah, okay, you already give the answer, no need to. Okay, yeah, good, very good. Around 180 databases can be supported by Power BI, and this is a good number. To the right now, I'm going to try the Excel, connect with Excel. The bank list data set that I already shared with you is the topic that we are going to work on it today. The data that we are going to work on it today. Okay, when you open an Excel file, as you know, each Excel file is including some tabs. Okay, that's why here you can see the Excel file is open and you need to select which tab is the data that you want to import. Maybe you want to import all tabs. No worries, you can just select all tabs. If you want to only import one tab, also you can select that tab and import that tab. Okay. This is very easy job to import the tab that you want. When you select in below page, you have two options, load and transform data. One question is coming out is what is the difference between the transform data and load data? The answer is when I want to, when I'm not sure about the data's content and the data's cleaning, okay, health of data, I need to check first because as earlier I mentioned, if you import wrong data or not clear data to Power BI, and if you are the very expert data analyst, okay, but the data that you have is not right, then you cannot expect to have right results. That's why it's very important as a data analyst, we just search we just check the health of data first before we import the data into the Power BI. If I'm not sure about the health of data, in here I need to select transform data. When I'm selecting transform data, the data first goes through the another application for cleaning. That application's name is Power Query. And if I am sure that the data is clean and doesn't have any problem, I can import directly to Power BI by pressing load. Okay. And for example, here I transform data first. I go to Power Query, and as you see, the Power Query, another application is opening. And in the Power Query, you can see and check the health of data. If in your Power Query you don't have these beautiful graphs on the top of each column, just need to go to the view, the tab view, and active these three tick. Okay, when you have these three ticks, column distribution, show white space, and column quality, then easily you can just check how is the situation in your data set. As you can see here, my data set is looks very clean. Then I am okay to import this data to Power BI. That's why from the home, I just select close and apply. Close and apply means that I want to close Power Query and apply the data and apply the changes on the data and import the data to Power BI. Just to show you, still in Power BI, we don't have any database. You can see here in the data panel, it's empty. No, nothing is here. But once I select choose, close and apply, I need to wait because, of course, every time importing data to Power BI, it will take time. This time is related to the amount of data that you have and also the speed of your laptop or your computer. That's why somehow it takes more or less time, but no need to be worried, and just you can just check the what is that? Check the data that imported. Okay, now the data is imported, and as you can see here, we have the bank list as the data that we need to start our analysis job here. Okay, before I go and start the analysis, I want to just tell you some extra things. Okay, then you can go ahead and do the analysis. Before we start with a graph and visualization, I just want to insert something into this platform. For example, I want to import one image. You know, when you're designing a dashboard, always you have these things that you import some graphs to your some shape also. For example, this is the company's logo. You want to have the company's logo in your design. Okay, you can do it. And you can insert picture. From the insert, you can select image and import the company's logo or any other picture that you want to have in your graph, you can import it. One of the other things that I need to have is a text bar. For example, I want to write first dashboard in PI. Okay, then I select the text and make it bold, make it maybe bigger, 24. Then I can make this bit, change the shape, and also I can drag and drop here, put it here next to my logo. Or I can put some shape inside the work, okay? It doesn't matter, we can put some triangle, for example, different shapes, okay? For example, this is one shape that I'm putting. Then maybe I can extend it to the end. Maybe I can make it half, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and that make it double. change the second one's color. Okay, we can do these kind of things. Maybe I can extend it to here. Okay, something that's happening here, you can see the writing is go behind the shape because I imported the shape after the writing. That's why it goes behind. Doesn't matter, you can just select the shape and go to the format, and from here send to background. You can select this and it goes to background. Very easy. But as you can see, the background of the shape, the writing is white color and is cover the shape. No problem. I can select the writing, come to here from the general effect. I turn off the background. Okay, something like this. This is something that just only you need to make your report it looks better. Okay, this is not very important in data analytics, but this is just only for you to make your result look better, and you can use these tools to do this job. Okay, this is the first things, and let's go and start the first tools that we have today. The tools that we are going to talk about today is a sketch column charts. Okay, I'm going to talk about all details of these tools as the first tools that we need to know in this subject. First of all, you select the tools and the tools will come. Okay, I can give any size and format that I want to the tool. Okay, now I have it, but it doesn't show anything. Why? Because I didn't give any data to the x-axis and to the y-axis. That's why you see it's a gray color. Is nothing showing. It means that there is something wrong and I need to fix this. Okay? Let's we start with the build visual. This is the first tab. The name is build visual that I selected the tools. And now here under the tools, you can see different uh, things that I need to load data into the data. Okay, for example, here I want to have this is a database that's showing how many banks closing in each year in United States. Okay, the list of bank and date of closing in United States since 2024 since 2000 to 2024. And now my question is, I want to have a chart or column chart to show the uh, number of number of closing bank per year. Okay, I write it in the chat box. You can see number of closing bank per year. Or I copy here and I put one new text box. I put it here in the text box as well, just only for us to know what we are looking for. Make it bigger. Okay, this is the things that I'm looking for. Number of closing bank per year. And this is the graph that I have. Okay, let's load the data into this chart. We need to see per year. Okay, that's why the first thing that I know is one of the variable that I have is the time. And the time is per year. This is one variable. Another variable that I have is the number of closing factor. Thanks. Okay, that's why let's go and see the time. The x-axis, here's it, x-axis, okay? The x-axis, we need to give the time. I open the time, and here I see year. I drag and drop year to the x-axis. Nothing showing because it still is not completed yet. The y-axis is the number of bank that is closing. Okay, that's why from here I select the y-axis bank name and bring here. Of course, I don't want the bank name. I want the number of banks. That's why it's automatically by Power BI is changed to count of bank name. Okay, because it knows that we need the number of the bank. That's why it changed to the count of bank name. And very simple. Now we have the diagram that's showing how many bank is closing in each year. For example, 2012, 51 bank is closing in United States. Okay, very simple process. Right now, we have the output, and this is whatever they're asking us, number of bank closing per year. Now we have the diagram here. Very simple. Okay. Uh, But there are some other things also here that I'm interested to know what exactly is each of these. Legend. Legend is, for example, you have two category of banks. Uh, private banks and public banks. Okay. Now you want to see, for example, in this year, how many percent is private bank and how many percent is public bank. This is called legend. Means one another factor that you want to add to your analysis. Okay. Here we don't have it, but we have something that is seems interesting, and that is the estate. Okay, I want to see that how many estates are uh, inside that. Okay, I add the estate to the legend. See, the come. This is changing. The estate now is the list in the top, and you can see, for example, in 2010, uh, 29 estates. The closing is from 29 estates. Okay, oh, the state Florida, because this is, yeah. Okay, 29 estates in Florida, 29 bank in Florida, 16 bank in Illinois, and 21 in Georgia, I think. Okay, you can see. But here we have too many category. It's not looks nice. But normally when we have three or four category, two, three, four category, it's good to add the legend, to add it to the legend to make the data looks better. But for now, just only we remove it because it's not working for us. The second thing that we have here, a small multiples. Okay, a small multiples, try to divide your graph to four different graphs. Okay, and by dividing your smaller visual, you can see in different terms. For example, I want to see in each quarter as well, same time. This graph in four different quarters. I add a quarter here to the small multiple. Now you have four quarter, quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, quarter four, and the data for each quarter also is showing here. Okay, or per month also you can do, but it's for each month is showing differently. Okay, if you want to have this divide this graph to timing zone to some different categories, you can use the small multiples. Another thing that we have here is the tool tips. Tool tips, you know, when I'm putting the mouse on one of the chart, you see another box is opening and saying, okay, closing data year is 2010 and count of the bank name in this year is 157. This panel called as the tooltips. Okay. In this panel called tooltips. Mute your mic, Mr. Matlan. Then you need to okay, for example, tooltips, we want to add more things to the tooltips. Okay. For example, I want to add the state to tooltips. Okay. Here it said first status, but from the arrow here, I come and count, select the count, and count these things. What is the difference between these two count? Count, counting all the items that you have, okay? But count this thing, count only each category once. For example, if we have 10 bank from the Florida, just only is counting one state, okay? That's why here we need to select the count this thing. Now, if I go here, you can see one new line also is added. It said in 2010, 157 banks are closing, and those banks are from 31 states. Okay, this is the output that we have. If you want, you can add more. For example, city also I want to add. Okay, and also here I make it count these things. Now if you go here, you see that from in 2010, 157 banks are closing from 31 estate, and city totally is from 142 different cities. Okay, this is something that we are looking for in tooltips. Okay, the rest of items is not that much important for now. Later we will back because there is some requirement and we need to do first, then come back here. That's why I'm not focusing in that first. Just now we cover all the items in build visual. Okay. But as you can see here, the second tab here is the format your visual. Now I want to go to format my visual and do the formatting on this group. I select the format. The format visual also have two tabs, visual and general, okay? In the visual tab, I have this chance to do the setting on my x-axis and y-axis separately. I select the x-axis. Okay, this x-axis, the first item, I'm not doing anything with that. Range. Range is for a time that you don't want to see all from 2000 to 2024. You want to see it from 2005 to 2015. Then here you give 2005 tab 2015. Okay, just only you want to focus on some spatial data, you can give the range to the BI, then BI just only showing the graph in that particular range. No need to see the other uh, areas. Okay, and if you don't want, you can just delete it and shift tab, delete, delete. Okay, very easy. You can back to the normal. Logarithmic logarithmic scale is just trying to make the scale logarithmic. Okay. For this is not working. Logarithmic means right now we have from 2000 to 2024. Okay. If you put logarithmic, it's showing from the 1000 to 10,000. And just only your data is in this narrow line. It's not working for here. Invert range, you can invert it instead of starting from 2000, it started from 2024 and back to 2000. Value is the value that you can see under the graph. Okay, you can change the font. Okay, you can change the size. You can make it bold. You can give it color. Everything we can do, just only graphical change. Display unit, if somehow is the money and it comes with a too many zeros, maybe you can change it to some factors like thousand, million, billion, trillion to just only make it smaller. Okay. But here is the year, and of course you cannot change to that. Value decimal place also is again same related. You can select the number of decimal places to display for the value. And that is not working because this is year. Title is the title. You can see here year. Year is the title. If you don't want, you can put whatever you want. Okay. For example, I want to say year, no, list of closing and year. Okay, you can write whatever you want here. Then you can select the font. You can change the size. You can bold it, make it italic. You can give them color. Okay, any color that you want. Everything is possible to do here for the title. And if you are not happy with all the changes that you did, you can reset to default. Everything is back to the first things. Yes, Mr. Firdaus?
Okay, sir.
You
I
have any?
just want to ask. During little bit backwards. But I want to ask during the we insert the data into the Power BI. Sometimes the Excel data after we click transform data, they have a column that that stated null, NUNL. Can you explain actually what happened to the data, sir?
Yeah. Okay, good question. When you import the data from some database and you see that it is writing annual in any cell, it means that cell is empty in the original file. Okay, null means it's empty, doesn't have data in the original file, and this is something that you need to remove from your database before you import data to Power BI. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So that means we remove that null data, and then so that means after that, once we load, it can transfer lah into the Power BI.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. So okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Okay, we have this for X. We have the same setting for the Y-axis, range, value, title is the same. That's why I'm not repeating. We have grade line. Okay, what is a grade line? Grade line is the line very small that right now you cannot see here. We have horizontal and vertical grade line. If I make the color change, maybe then you can see it. I make it bigger. This is called grade line. Okay, we have two category horizontal, we can off it or we can have it. And also we have vertical, we can off it and on it and make the color in the way to be seen. Okay, this is the vertical one. Okay, if I give you a different color, you can see this. This is some grade line. The name is there. Is just some line help you to uh, understand better your graph. That's nothing else, okay? If you want to have it, you can have it. If you don't want, you can turn it off. And if you are not happy with the setting, you can reset to default to back to very narrow one, okay? Because it's better that these two category and grid line not be very highlight. Zoom slider. Zoom slider is another tool that we have here. You can turn it off or turn it on. When you turn on, you can see that you have here one line, okay? So this line helps you to focus in some data that you want. For example, I want to see from 2010 to 2015 only, okay? I can make the graph like this, okay? This is showing that I just want this, okay? I just want to go to the first 5 years, last 5 years. Everything you can do by from a slicer, and you have not only for this time with this part, we have it for here as well. And you can see, okay, this is just the tool for focusing on the chart that you have, and it's possible to, okay, for example, if you don't want to have it for the y-axis, you can turn it off for y, and if you don't want to have it for the x-axis also, you can turn off for x, okay, but let's say that we have it here, and we have another icon here, a slider label. You can put the slider label, then this slider also have a timing label. but it's better we don't have it double, because right now the graph also have label, a slider also have label. It's that looks nice. A slider tooltips is the tooltips means that when I'm selecting, you see the number on top. Like you can see the number on top, and it's helping me to do the adjustment better. It's called as a slider tooltips. And if you don't want any of these changes, reset to default, close the zoom slider. Okay. Let's see back here. We are in the visual, and now we are in column. Column is the part that is very interesting because it's back to many settings to your column. For example, in the column, you can change the color. Okay, color of the diagram. I want the diagram to be yellow. I want the diagram to be pink. I can do it. Somehow they said, okay, I want some year to be different color. For example, 2013 and 2012. 2013, I select from the category and select the color to yellow. See, just only 2013's color change. And 2012, also they asking me to make it blue, for example. If they ask you to do each year different color, you can do it manually. And another thing, let me reset this back to the normal. Another thing that we have is FX. Okay, sometimes they're asking me to come out with some conditional formatting. If the number of closing bank goes more than 100, make the diagram red. Okay, I go to FX. Okay, the number of bank. That's why I come here from the bank list. I select the bank name. Okay, count of the bank. If the count of the banks, uh, we need to select rules. Okay, if the bank name and the count of the bank, if it goes more than what I said, 100, and less than 200, for example, in the number. Change the diagram color to red. I don't have red here. I come here and select the very nice red. And okay, just these two getting red. Okay. Now, if my data is changing, and for example, another year also come more than 100, then you can see that diagram is going. Okay, I want to see those years below, for example, 20, be green color. What that means that is something normal. I add new role. I said if more than 0 in the number and less than 21, for example, or 20, less than equal to 20, make the color green. See, all those that they are, for example, here is 18 bank. That's why it's green. Here is 24. That's why the color is not changing. See? And if I want to make those that they are between 20 and between 20 to 100, yellow color or orange color, I come and add new row. I said is more than 20, the number, and less than 100. I said yes. Change the color to orange. Very easy. I give some rules for my diagram to have a different colors on that. Okay, that's why this is considered as a conditional formatting. And if you don't want it, no matter, you can just, after you select the conditional, then there is a one eraser coming here. It's called remove conditional formatting. By clicking on remove, everything's back to normal. All rules that you define is back. and you can just give one color to entire the diagram. Okay, that's one also possible. Another thing that we have in columns category is the border. Normally the graph doesn't have border, but you can make border for it. Select this and okay, I want to have a blue color border and make it bigger for you to visually. You see, this is the border that we have. Up to you, this is something design part, okay? From one person to another person, this is very optional. You can have it or you don't, up to you. And this is not something that we say, oh, it's a compulsory, you need to do it. This is just only design, okay? It's back to you and how you like it to be. And the layout also we have here. The layout we are not doing anything currently with layout. Okay, you can make it a space between the categories. You can make more or less. This is something that you can do here in the layout. If you don't want to do anything, reset to default. A ribbon, I am not talking about it, but the next one that I'm talking is the data label. Okay, you see here, this column, I don't know how many is the number, unless I put the mouse on it and see 157. I can put the data label on, then you can see the 157 is here. Then you can select from here that how to show it 157 be like that, or horizontal or vertical. Position you want to be inside or you want to be outside. Okay. Label identity, okay, this is the sizing and everything, okay. And for example, for some they're showing, for some they are not. Okay. Optimize the label display. It means that just try to optimize by the system by itself. Okay. Somehow it's better to show it inside or somehow it's better to show it outside. You can do that here. Title, you can put title for labels, but here it's very small, cannot put it, okay? That's why it's, you can see the three dots here, okay? Value is the value of the number. You can make the value of the number bigger, bold, give some color to that, for example, if you want. Display unit, again, we have a trillion, million, billion, same as whatever I said before, but for here, we don't need it. Uh, Nothing else that much. The rest is not very interesting. Yep. This is all what we need to do from the first panel in the column and data label that we have. And now we are going to the second tab in the format your visual. It's a general tab. In the general tab, we have properties. Properties is the size of this graph. Right now, I drag and drop and make it big. I can make it like this, a smaller, bigger. But somehow I have few graphs and I want those graphs to looks better inside the shape. Okay, that's why I give very specific number to that. For example, 400 and in 500. Okay, why? Because I want to have all the shapes in the same size to looks better. This is the size of graph that you can give this to the graph and adjust it. But I do it manually like now. Position is the location of the graph in the page. Okay, where is your graph in the page? Right now, you see right back here, go to the general properties, position. You can see horizontal 134, vertical 227. For example, if I make this 100, just come here, and this one 200 will go up, okay? This is just only to give the exact location that you want for your graph. If I make the horizon 0, it will stick to the border, okay? And if I make the vertical 0, it goes up and cover all the header. It's not nice. Then it's better we have it here, for example. This is just only for position where we want to locate the diagram. Here we have a padding also. How is the gap of the things that we are not working with that much. Okay, this is about the properties. Title is the title of your diagram is very important. You see right now count of bank, then count of estate, and count of city, the blank by year is very long, and I don't want this something like this. I want to have number of closing bank page here. Number of closing bank per year. Just only this. Okay, I can write the title of graph here. I can give fonts. For example, I want to be Arial black. I want to make it bigger, bold, and the color also I want to go for this color. Everything can do. Then I want to make it in the center of the graph. And text wrap. Text wrap is the tool that helps you if you have very long title. Automatically it makes it to into the two line to looks better. Subtitle is the second category. The second category right now is off. I can make it on and I can write whatever I want here. For example, it is designed by me. I can write by Kashayar. Okay. Just only because I want to show who designing this. Make it bold, make it bigger. The color, maybe I can put some red color for it and make it in the center. Okay. Subtitle is we have one title, is the main title of the graph, and also we have one subtitle, just only to explain more what exactly we have in this graph. And divider is the line that makes separate the title from the graph. If I make it on, you can see the line comes here. I can make the line bigger and change the line to any color that I want. Just only to separate the title from the graph, we are using this line. And if I don't want anything, I can reset it to the normal, but I like to keep it. That's why I don't reset this here. Effect is the background of the graph. Okay, this graph, the background is white. If I go here, you can see it's covered the shapes mirror. If I here select the background off, then you can see that is now transparent and I can see the behind us. Okay, if you have if you have some picture color in background, it's better you make your graph's background off, then it can be seen what is the picture in the background, if in case. Okay, the last tooltips also. You remember I said about the tooltips when you hold it here is opening. Maybe somehow you want to have some background for tooltips to make the color different. You can select and when you come here, you have some background for it. It can be differentiate from the normal background. You can make the size of the writing bigger, give font, make it bold, everything. For each element that you can see in the chart, you can do setting. Okay, just only you need to know where is the settings place. Yeah, that's all for now. There's some items I didn't mention because for now it's not necessary to know that, but the rest are all whatever I mentioned. It's very good to know that and know how to do that. Some extra point. Okay, right now this is all about importing graph. For example, I already importing this graph, and this graph is per yeah. Okay. They asking me to show per year, per quarter, and per month together. Okay. I can go and design the entire this graph again. Okay. But I can do Control C, copy, click on the white space, Control V. Now I have a copy of this. Okay. Then I select this, go to the data, they said per quarter. Instead of year, I give quarter. Now I have the same graph per quarter. Again, Control V, another graph. I put it here. Okay. Now I want to have it per month. I zero. Select the month, and now I have the month. See, very easy. You can design all the graphs that you want, just only if you know how to design the first one, the rest. Okay, right now they said, you see the numbering on the top cannot be seen. Is something wrong? Please fix it. I want to see the number. Okay, no problem. I go to the formatting. From the formatting, the data label. From the data label, I coming down and make the data label smaller. I still need, okay, now you can see the number, am I right? This is the, okay, here also we have the same problem. Please fix it. I go here, and when I selecting the next graph, the setting is here, just only I need to do the changes. Okay, cannot be smaller than 8, and maybe I take out the bold. I still cannot, because this is very small, no enough space for it to show. That's why I prefer to remove the label. Instead of do the setting, I can remove the label. Okay, then now I don't have that three dots on top. Okay, here you see that the number of months is showing, the number of months showing like this. Okay, you can do the setting to have the number of months, or you don't want to have it the number of months, the data in the x-axis. Okay, maybe you can just turn off, don't have the value. Okay, but it's better to be there. And also you can make it like this. No, it's not affected for this category. Layer minimum category wide. This is for make it focus on it. But if you don't want, you can just only back to the view. This is all we can do with the graphs. Okay. Another thing. Right now you see that all graphs that I have in this picture is from one database. It doesn't matter. I only have one database here. If I have more than one database, I can select another graph from another database. Okay. I can put it like this. Then I can add another graphs with another database. One of the good things in Power BI is if you have one Excel file for HR department, one Excel file for marketing, one Excel file for finance, you can import all these three Excel files together in one Power BI file project, okay? And then, okay, you can bring all the database, and in one page, you can have graph from the finance, you can have graph from the marketing. It doesn't matter, you can do it. But the things that is important is if you have more than one database, if those database is not related, you cannot use the factors from different categories. Let me show you how. Let me import another category of data, Excel workbook, for example. This is the data that I want to import. This is a very big database. That's why I select just only a bit of data. For example, I want to select this data. I know the data is clean. I load the data inside the file, waiting for Power BI to load the data. The data is loaded, and now you can see that we have the HASE as a new data set here. Okay. For example, let me go to another page and open a new one. I see there is a date here. Date. I select the year from here, put in x-axis. and go to the bank list and select the bank name from here in the y-axis. You see something, but this is not right. Why is showing like this? Because if I go to data modeling, I can see that I have two databases, that these two databases is not connected to each other. As long as my databases are not connected to each other, I cannot import, I cannot generate one graph by using the both data sets data. Okay? But if I make connection between two data sets, then I can generate graph by using the data from both databases. Okay, this is very important point that you need to notice and consider. That's why whatever we have here is now this one. Thank you so much of all of you and see you next
Thank
week.
you,
Bye bye.
Dr.